Black Twitter and podcasters who represent Black Twitter are calling for Wallo to be canceled over comments he made that are currently going viral. Now, these comments stem around his relationships with Black-owned businesses.
I'm Black. No Black people. Nobody gives a out that. Kill that. How? Either you got a good business or you don't. All that. Nobody want to hear that. That's a hustle. Support me because I got a Black business. Is your restaurant clean? Is the food good? Do you got consistent cooks? Is the material good? Come on. Stop doing that. Oh, you support the white people. No, I support consistency, baby. Yeah, man. What color you is? I'm spending my money. That the paper? I'm gonna spend the millions where the I want to spend it at. Brothers, Porsche, Ferrari, Linda, I'm gonna do what I want to do while I'm here. But I'm gonna tell you one thing: I ain't gonna be finessed off some Black. But one thing about it, 70% of you is not going to make it. I'm not no motivational speaker that talk this. I'm the number one in the country. You know why? Y'all seen me come out of the penitentiary. I made millions, and I made millionaires, baby. You understand? I come from the ghetto.
Sounds like a whole lot of truth to me, man. If you're wondering, Flacco, what exactly did he say wrong? Go to somebody else because I don't know what he said wrong, bro. Sounds like a whole lot of truth. Yo, if I'm going to give you my money, the transaction has to be mutually beneficial. If I'm giving you my money for some food, the food has to be good. If I'm giving you my money for some clothes, the clothes has to be quality. If I'm giving you my money for customer service, the customer service has to be good. I have to leave satisfied. And that's all he's saying. I'm not just supporting you strictly off of you are a Black-owned business. When there's a business next door that does a better job, cut it out, bruh. A lot of these things are based on perspective. So from my perspective, I don't think he's talking to the Black-owned businesses who are doing a great job, who are on their stuff, who do have a great business, who do have quality that they're giving you in exchange for your dollar. Now, when we want to have the conversation of if a Black-owned business is bringing you quality, is bringing you the same thing that you can get from somewhere else, but they're doing it just as good, well, that's a conversation. That's a very uncomfortable conversation we will have about who do you choose. But for the sake of this conversation, we won't go there. Now, people on Black Twitter are having a blast with this Wallo video. They're leaving reactions, quote tweets, and they're going off on him. One user will say that Wallo has been tap dancing for years. A user who goes by the name of Big Malcolm X Play Cousin will write, Wallo and Gilly have been tap dancing for years. Not once has Wallo attacked a white corporation or demanded a perfect experience from them. Dr. Amos Wilson warned us about these blank Black capitalists. Wallo is directly speaking to the businesses who want you to support them strictly because they're Black-owned businesses. There's not a white corporation who says, hey, support me because I'm white. Usually it's implied you're going to pick the best experience from the corporation, that gives you the best value for your buck. Now, one user will even take the video and he will call out Wallo for the hypocrisy.
So Wallo made some strong comments. He's talking tough to a room full of quote unquote Black people. I mean, just talking tough, said he is not going to be finessed off no Blacks. He ain't going to support no Black businesses just because they owned by somebody Black. He ain't going to be finessed on no Black. But I think out of his own words, when he got out of prison, he was finessing Black people. And I'm pretty sure, who was you selling those T-shirts to, my guy? When you say you was buying them for $5 and selling them for $20. And you say they were gilding T-shirts too that really cost $1. So who were you finessing? Who were you selling those T-shirts to? Who were you asking to support you? Who? And how long did those T-shirts last? Was your customer service? Did you go to training for your customer service? I'm pretty sure you did.
But this doesn't refute Wallo's point. All this proves is, yeah, you shouldn't have bought the shirt from Wallo for $20 if you could go down the street and get the same shirt for $5. Whoever bought those shirts from Wallo got finessed and got hoodwinked, but that doesn't take away from the point that he's saying, which is, yeah, you should not be finessed by this. It's a Black business scam, and you should go and buy that shirt for $5 if it's the same quality shirt that band is trying to resell you. Now, one person in particular that had a deep dive on this that I definitely want for us to review and do a deep analysis on is Rachel Lindsay. She is Van Lathan co-host of the Higher Learning Podcast, a podcast that I watch every week. Now, she takes a more sinister approach when it comes to Wallo. And here's what she had to say.
I'm hoping that I disagree with everything he said. Let me just put that straight up. I'm hoping that there's more context to it because I'm trying to understand where this came from and why. Like, I don't understand him screaming at an audience and basically almost saying black businesses aren't shit.
Okay, so he's a very passionate guy. So when Wallo speaks, he's a very passionate guy.
I'm a passionate person too.
That's probably why he was screaming.
I'm a passionate person too.
You are.
But it basically sounded like he was saying, and this is my first time listening to it, that he was basically saying, black businesses ain't shit. And don't expect me to lift your shitty black business up. I understand if he's speaking in terms of you can't expect your business to be successful by only saying I'm a black-owned business and therefore because you are black, you need to support my black-owned business. If that's what he means, I understand that. But the way that he's yelling in this context and basically saying, I'm not going to support you just because you're black.
I like Rachel, but it tickles me seeing industry people have to give honest opinions, right? Because they're caught between a rock and a hard place. Usually it's very easy to sort of pander to a particular base. And usually the people you like fall on the side of that base. So pandering to them and pandering to your base is usually the same thing. But with situations like this, where somebody who's usually on the side of your base or, who's pro your pander, like when seeing that person now, they have a drastic opinion that goes against your base and who you pander to. Seeing these industry people have to give honest opinions tickles me, bro. Because, you see how much they're struggling with it, bro. You see, bro, again, not just Rachel, because there's other people I've seen as well, where it's, I hope, man, no, nah, bro. Y'all in these YouTube streets with us, bro. It's time to criticize our own. I can't be the only hater on YouTube, bro. Somebody got to be a hater like Flock. I can't be the only hater on YouTube, bro. So seeing these industry people have to give real opinions, oh, okay. This is what I like. Now, shout out to Van Lathan, because I do think Van Lathan is a hater like me, bro. Van Lathan don't care. Van Lathan gonna give it up. He burned bridges all the time. He don't care. But with Rachel, when she says, I hope he's saying don't support a black business if the black business isn't giving you good customer service. Well, that's exactly what he's saying. And then she says, I hope he's not saying don't just support a business because they're black. That's exactly what he's saying, right? That the business being a black-owned business, some consideration for the business, but 95% of the consideration should be, what is the value that I'm getting for this business? What is the value that I'm receiving back? And that's all this is about. So when Richard Lindsay say, I hope he's not saying, don't just support a business because they're black. That's exactly what he's saying. And he will be absolutely right for that.
I feel like when people say support black-owned businesses, that's not what they're asking for.
Okay, you want me to say something? I'm listening to you.
This is all I have. This is my first time listening to it. I didn't listen to this. I didn't hear this before. It sounds to me this clip sounds so anti-black. And it so seems to me to miss the whole movement around support black businesses. It's, hey.
This Wallo clip is the most pro-black clip I'd have ever seen. What's more pro-black than telling black folks, listen, take pride in your business. Take pride in what you are putting out there. Take pride in the product that's representing you. And if you take pride in that, we got your back. We're going to support you. We're going to ride for you. But to the other business owners who give black folks a bad name because they come out here with bad product, bad customer service, everything is bad, and they want us to support it and put our dollars in it, and now those people are represented in the same market as the good business owner, nah, bro, cut it out. Y'all go to the back of the line, bro. I think that's as pro-black as it gets. I don't see how that's anti-black. It's anti-black to tell black businesses, hey, bro, if you are doing well, if you're a business with great product, we're going to support you. If you're not, you can't get my dollar, bro. I don't man, listen, bro. At times I wonder, bro, do Rachel believe the things she say, or do Rachel know that her audience would like to hear this? Because Rachel probably knows, bro, like the Black Twitter will probably eat this up, right? And in about a week or so, we will forget this bad take and move on to another take. But if she pisses off her demographic and her audience, you know what they're gonna do? We done messing with you, bro. All right, we not supporting you no more. Opposed to, yo, if you gotta sacrifice yourself, give a bad take and still please that base, and then we forget about your bad take in a week, then so be it. But this right here to me is just dishonest, extremely dishonest.
Sometimes for me, for example, I said on this podcast one time and I was like, I don't know the list of Black businesses out there that are at Target or at Walmart. When we were talking about DEI, and we were talking about Tabitha Brown, and we were having that. And then people flooded me with, hey, there's an encyclopedia or kind of a Bible of Black businesses and how you can support them and find them. They're not saying, I just, when I listen to this, it just sounds so anti-Black. The whole movement is, hey, you might not be aware that you can get these same products from Black businesses and you could support and uplift them because they might not have the marketing the same way. They might not have the money or the capital. They might not have the support in the same way some of these white-owned businesses that we're more familiar with do. So support these Black-owned businesses, not just because they're Black, but because they have legitimate and quality products. When I listen to Wallo, right, it sounds like he's anti that.
I don't see how you get that from what Wallo said. I don't see how anybody would get that from what Wallo said. So Van Lathan decided to step up, okay? So Van Lathan says what we are all thinking. That's exactly what he's saying, Rachel. Like, it's like you're defending the position he has, but then still saying you have a problem with him saying it. So Van Lathan steps in to try to bring some type of reason to this conversation, because it does feel like right now Rachel is gonna hold on. Hey, bruh, if Black Twitter is upset, I gotta be upset too.
Okay, so I'm gonna choose to view this in the most charitable way possible, and that's because, which is the whole point.
It's just a problem to me.
Well, it's not a point. To me, it's not a problem. Like, to me, being charitable culturally is not a problem. It's like what you should do. It's essentially like what you're talking about. You're talking about chances, giving chances. What we have to spend with each other is solidarity. That's our greatest wealth. Our greatest wealth as Black people is solidarity. That's the number one form of riches that we have. It's the fact that we care about each other. Mm-hmm. There is no form of payment that means more than that for us. Yeah. Because the wealth that we should have had in this country was systemically stolen from us. We were burned out of it. We were swindled out of it. And we didn't have access to it in the first place because of our enslavement. Mm-hmm. So the riches that you give to other people as Black people is your love and support. That's the number one form of riches that we have. And sometimes you have to support people in the idea of what they want to be. You have to support where they want to go. Yeah. And you can't just support what they are. Because if you just would have supported Jeff Bezos in 1992, you'd have been supporting somebody in their garage with a telephone and a printed out Amazon sign in the back that say they want to sell books to the entire world. And it doesn't seem like you're going to make your money back in supporting that. Now, I'm not saying that everybody's going to be Jeff Bezos, and I'm not saying that you don't need to have clean restaurants. I'm not saying that you don't need to do. What I am saying, though, is the fact that we don't have the same resources to support each other, by and large, that other groups do. The number one way we can support each other is with support.
Amazon isn't on pace to be the first $1 trillion company because they started off on shaky foundation, or they started off with bad customer service, or they started off with a bad product. No, Amazon, even from their very conception, they at least started off with a product that people wanted, with a product that people thought was good enough to give their money to. But again, there are black-owned businesses who has that foundation. Wallo was saying, from my from my perspective, yo, we should focus on the black-owned businesses who are giving us a product that's worth paying for, who is giving us their all. Even from the very beginning, they are giving us the good customer service. They are giving us quality, right? They're giving us something that we feel good about giving our money to. The other ones that aren't, leave them in the dust. But yeah, bro, I'm sure if Amazon started off shaky with bad customer service, if Amazon started off not producing, bro, them folks wouldn't have supported Amazon. And again, I'm not talking about the initial investor. I'm talking about the like the customers, right? The people who made Amazon profitable. They wouldn't have supported Amazon if Amazon started off as a very shaky business. So all Wallo is saying, bro, is yo, just because you're black don't mean that you are entitled to my dollars, bro, right? Or my support. But y'all let me know in the comment section, man. What do you guys think, man? It's always love to Van Lathan and Rachel, man. I appreciate y'all podcast, bro. I watch it every week, man. So y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this, okay? Do you guys believe? Do y'all believe, that Wallo is wrong? Do you guys believe that Rachel is right? We should support black-owned businesses regardless of the product they're producing? Let me know, okay? And if you're still watching, click on this video here somewhere on my screen to find out or to see, how she finally got caught. Remember the woman who sucker punched the street interviewer for asking a simple question? Well, that woman was finally arrested and she's already begging us for our dollars. Click on this video right here to find out what I'm talking about. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.